Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the RK Football Podcast. This week, I'm joined by Stuart and Matt.
Hey
Unfortunately,
guys.
we're missing Matthew due to some technical faults. His laptop finally went kaput after many weeks
Yeah.
of threatening. It was on his last legs for a while, and it's finally died. So, due to that, he will be missing this week. And also due to that is the reason why we're recording today, which is a Wednesday. We typically record on a Monday night. So that is the reason for that. So I think where we'll begin is the weekend's Premier League results. I think one of the major talking points, if not the one, was Arsenal's result at the Emirates Stadium, losing to Bournemouth. Tell me, lads, is that potentially the straw that broke the camel's back in regards to Arsenal's title push?
I think it's made it very fragile, the Arsenal mentality. You can see by the fans how they're starting to get that nervous jitters of, because the normal Arsenal kaput normally happens in February. So the fact it hadn't happened yet, they thought like maybe it won't happen, but here it is with games to go that they're starting to flounder. And I don't think it's the fact they lost. I think it's the manner in which they lost. I think Bournemouth.
Absolutely.
I didn't watch the game, but reading all the reports and watching the highlights, it sounded like Bournemouth played them off the park.
I did. They did. They did,
I mean, that
particularly in
second
that
goal.
second half. Yeah.
Yeah, especially that second goal, because obviously you can see there's no pressing, like no urgency to stop that goal because just ran through them. But yeah, I mean, we could sit there and say, Matt, you can probably take a bit of glee with your, I think, slowly but surely starting to take that comment you said about if they lose the cup final, this might be the beginning of the end. It could be a start, and the more weeks go on and the more Arsenal play the way they do, I can kind of starting to turn towards that kind of feeling.
Because they lost the cup final to City, they then lost to Southampton, and deservedly so as well. So it wasn't one of those fluky Saints held back and then got a goal on the counter. They controlled the game quite well. And even their result against Sporting last week, yes, they got a 1-0 win, but it was in like the 90-something minute, and they weren't exactly setting the world alight. Now, as we say, we were recording on the Wednesday, so at the time, they haven't played the second leg yet. And I was discussing this earlier with you guys on the message. It's like, if they fail to get a positive result from today, going into the City game on Sunday, where it's 6 points in it because City beat Chelsea. If City win, they'll be 3 points behind with a game in hand and superior goal difference.
Yeah,
that the league could be over. Like because
whoever wins that,
because City's mentality with Pep, like the Chelsea City game on the weekend. First half, Chelsea matched City quite well. We had a goal disallowed, and at half time, I was thinking, oh, we've actually come out to play football here, which is great. First 5 minutes of the second half, the game was over. Pep clearly sent a rocket at them, but that's the experience you've got from title-winning players and a title-winning manager knowing how to get players over the line. And Arsenal just don't have that. I don't think they've got that mentality. And I'm pretty sure Fowney said this ages ago, but he was seeing Arteta like a Pochettino, always the bridesmaid, never able to get it over the line. And I hate agreeing with Fowney, but I kind of see his point.
It just happens to be he's not on the podcast, so he might not be able to hear it. So
doesn't exist.
I think the one thing that Arsenal do have going for them is that, I mean, look, it did seem all doom and gloom after the Bournemouth results at the weekend for the fans and everything like that. Like, oh, they've bottled it, blah blah blah. They have to go to City, all this. But it's still in Arsenal's hands. They can still, and if you look at it on the positive, 2 games this week, if they win both of them, Champions League semi-finals, and they're pretty much on course for the title. I mean, obviously, there's still a bit to go yet.
Oh, it's not completely done and out yet.
It's not completely done yet, but that was a fairly damning result. I mean, I did watch it, and it wasn't great. It wasn't great from Arsenal at all. Bournemouth played extremely well. I mean, props to them. I mean, they were fabulous. And we could probably talk about Iraola a bit as well if you'd like. But again, it is still in their hands, though.
A lot's got to be said about Bournemouth because almost like the last 2-3 years, they've built a really good team, but then they've lost their key players. The whole back 5 of Bournemouth's team last year had gone. Kepa, the goalkeeper's gone. They've got replaced him with Petrovic from Chelsea. Kieran has gone to Liverpool. Huijsen went to Real Madrid. The Ukrainian went to PSG. And I think Sanassi's the only one left, but he's leaving in a free. Midway through the season, they've lost Semenyo. but yet they are still putting in shifts. Like that Rayan, the young Brazilian they got, he looks solid. And that whole team just seems to be clicking really well. But Iriola's now off.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for Bournemouth fans. They could be like, oh, we could be going to Europe, but we're going to have to completely almost restructure again because Sanassi's gone. Iriola's going. There's bound to be 2 other exits because that just seems to be the way it is with Bournemouth. It's almost like Southampton from a few years ago. They had that 2 or 3 really good seasons when they first came up. Then 5 of them went to Liverpool.
Yeah. The managerial merry-go-round this summer is going to be something else, I think. Obviously, with all the managers announcing in the summer, managers who have temporary managers and want to get new managers, United included. It's going to be quite mental this summer to see who goes where and what, and it'll be interesting to see. But
where do you think he's going? Like, because obviously, I think we were in the chat. We were talking about. But I think there's rumours like that. I think that's what these rumoured, because obviously former player and stuff. But obviously, there's rumours going around. It's unlikely because obviously I don't know what situation. But it'd be fascinating to see where he goes next. Because obviously, if he goes back to Spain, because obviously he's been a couple of years now in England, or does he get a big job here? Like
because he was always he's been touted. Certainly the last few weeks, he's been touted to go back to Athletic Bilbao. He played over 400 times for them. His family's from there. The rumours are that his family wants to go back to there, which, I mean, if I had the choice between England or Bilbao, I would choose Bilbao. Because Valverde, who's the current Athletic Bilbao manager, he's stepping down at the end of the season. But he's also been touted. He's also been a long-time admirer for the clubs like Spurs and Liverpool. Spurs, they've got De Zerbi as things stand. Liverpool have got Slot as things stand. So it'll be interesting because it seems like, is it Marco Rose, the former? Yeah,
that's the favourite.
Leipzig manager is the favourite to take over.
He's in advanced talks apparently, from what I'm seeing. So it looks like it might, unless something crazy happens, that might be a done deal. To be honest,
I'm going to throw this out there: if Palace win the Conference League and get into Europa League, does he go there?
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, that could happen. I just wanted to discuss briefly as well, just this match that's coming, this probably the biggest game of the season, this Sunday, where Arsenal do have to travel to City. I read a stat now, I don't remember the figures exactly, but it was just in relation to how strong Pep in particular performed for his teams in the latter half of the season. I think in the month of April in the Premier League, I think he's won something like 31 out of 38 games. His win percentage rate in April, in other words, in the latter half of the season, April particularly, kind of the business end, the sharp end of seasons, is extremely good. And it's just so much experience, and he just always seems to get it over the line, one way or the other.
That's why I think everyone's kind of thinking they're battling. That's why that's probably as much as what Arsenal are doing. It's because all the hallmarks of a City win is coming. Like, the team, was it Arsenal looking like they're collapsing a little bit, City hitting form at the right time. It just all links up to be like you're going to do the job again.
It's almost like flashbacks to the 18-19 season where Liverpool had that lead and then City went on that mad, 19-game winning streak?
Yeah.
To win the league by a point.
Yeah.
Damn company. You have to get that goal against Leicester, didn't you? You have to get that goal, didn't you?
I mean, I suppose what I wanted to put to you guys, I mean, as we're speaking, I think in about just under an hour's time, Arsenal do face Sporting in the second leg of the Champions League. Winning that, getting into the semi-finals could give them a boost. I think Arteta particularly was quite fiery in his press conference the other day.
I have the fire.
It was quite a bit cringe, but all props to him. But what I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys give Arsenal any chance of walking away with a win at City? And do you think Arsenal do need to win?
I think at City, I think if they win, then the momentum is all with them because they've turned up on the 100%. Big occasion. They've got the mentality to hold it up because it's only 3 or 4 weeks ago that they played City in a final and bottled it.
Yeah.
And I reckon that will still be playing on both Arsenal's mind, but also City's mind, saying we've already seen them crumble in the pressure. It's going to happen again. I think if it's a draw, then Arsenal might still hold out because they'll have the mathematical advantage with the game in hand.
Yeah.
3-6, right? Yeah.
But it will be tighter. I think if Arsenal lose, then City will just steamroll it because I think that's Arsenal
just win.
Just dead chair.
Yeah, and the goal difference, it's only 3 goals difference in the goal difference, I think. So I mean, nothing.
The way City are playing at the moment, the way you consider, say, Arsenal goals a little bit dried up recently, and obviously City goals haven't. So obviously, it's one of those. I know they kind of big it up. It's like, I guess we can all agree on this. Like, whoever wins that game wins the league. It's that important. Like, if City win it, they're going to go on. If Arsenal win it, they win it. So
if you look at City's last 2 games, they've not been easy games. It's been Liverpool in the FA Cup, and then Chelsea in the Premier League, and they've won them on an aggregate of 7-0. And it's not just, but they're getting goals from everyone. Everyone is stepping up. Gehi, Doku, Semenyo, Cherki looks unbelievable. And it's just.
When was the last time Haaland got a goal? That's the question.
I think it was February. I think I saw a stat as well. His last league goal was February.
That just shows how fortunate City have been that other players have started to step up now. I saw a stat about Cherki, who is in fact my player to watch at the beginning of the season. Is that he's assisted 2 or more goals in 4. Let me just see if I got that. 2 or more goals on 4 occasions for City, which is more than any other player in the top 5 leagues this season. I think which is a ridiculous stat. It just shows players like him and others that you mentioned as well, Matt, are really coming to the fore now. I will just say that myself and Matt Thowney did predict Arsenal to win at the beginning of the season, and because of that, we have been pushing for Arsenal to win this bloody league. I will say now, categorically, I'm willing to just abandon that. I'd rather be amused than be right. I think it would be hilarious if Arsenal bottled it.
We've got a choice, Well, you've got a choice this season, because obviously you put Arsenal to win the league and Nottingham Forest to go down. You've got to choose. What do you want? Do you want both?
I would so much I just think if Arsenal do, like I said, I'd much rather see Arsenal just ruin it. Go to City and just
before the weekend. I had a look on I think one of the Sky Bet odds, and to put something together, and it was Arsenal to finish second, Spurs to be relegated, then Arsenal to lose the Champions League final to a Harry Kane goal with something like 50 to 1. That's worth a tenner. That is surely worth a tenner.
That's worth a tenner, mate. Absolutely, yeah.
I've got to pay for a wedding, and I'm going for it.
What a way to pay for a wedding. I suppose that brings us nicely onto Spurs. Spurs obviously losing the first game under De Zerbi at Sunderland at the weekend, a 1-0 win, which I think I predicted correctly, if I'm not mistaken.
You did, well done.
Yeah, thank you very much. I sniped a 1-0 win. That's always nice. But I think a result that a lot of people would have expected. Even with De Zerbi coming in, I mean, a lot of the talk has been that, going by what De Zerbi has said in his interviews and his pressers and things like that, is that he's not really decided to adopt his usual style. He's been more so a father figure, if you'd like, to the players, as opposed to kind of making them play a certain way. I think he said something in his interview about being there as a father figure or something, something along on that ilk, which kind of shows the desperate circumstances that the club is in at the moment. I mean. What do you guys think about? Are Spurs going to go down? Are they just about going to stay up? Is De Zerbi going to do it?
We can 100%. Well, I mean, that's again just not a dig. Obviously, got you guys losing to Leeds, but with that win for Leeds, then I think that's
pretty big.
That's pretty big. It gives them a little bit, because he was getting a bit. And Tate was a bit. Was it close down there? Was it top? Was it 4?
So if you look at the bottom table, you got Wolves bottom on 17, Burnley on 20 points, Spurs on 30. Then you got West Ham 32,
right? Yeah.
Forest on 33. Then there's a gap. Then Leeds on 36.
Yeah.
Then Newcastle on 42.
Even if Spurs play, I think Brighton at Spurs next weekend. I think so. Even if Spurs get a draw, they'll still be in the bottom 3. So I think that's pretty funny. I think it would be amazing for it. Imagine a season in which Arsenal bottle the league again and Spurs go down at the same time. I mean, that's a magical season.
It's also Spurs' home fixtures that have been the ones that have letting them down. I've let them down. Been atrocious over the last 2 seasons.
Have they got Wolves? Have they got Wolves in that period as well?
So they've got they're home to Brighton this weekend. Then they're away to Wolves, relegation 6-pointer. Then they're away to Villa. Then they home to Leeds. Then it's away to Chelsea. Then home to Everton.
I like what you said, Matt, the other week about the possibility of Spurs going to Chelsea and that being the match that confirms their relegation.
I think that game against Leeds, that would be great. If they lose that, if the form continues, they'll be 2 points off safety.
Yeah.
Lose to Leeds with a gap, and then lose to Chelsea. They're done.
I mean, for the season you guys at Chelsea have had, wouldn't that be just something good? Like even about how this season's gone, you can say, well,
honestly, it is one of those it's been such a farce this season. Going from, 7 months ago, we beat PSG, played them off the park to be world champions. Then in November, we beat Barcelona 3-0, played them off the park. And now we are 6th in the league, haven't won in 3 in the league, which is something that I've not seen in my lifetime, because the last time it happened was in 1998 when I was 2. We haven't kept a clean sheet in the league since January. It's just ridiculous. Honestly, I know we're talking about the manager merry-go-round, but all the noise coming out is saying like Rossini's got the job certainly for the January summer transfer window to build in something, but there's a huge protest planned for ahead of the Man United game. It's ridiculous. And to top it all off, like the executives and the directors gave themselves an 80 and a 60% pay rise, because that's all in the company's house. They gave themselves a 80 and 60% pay rise, and we've gone backwards.
Generous.
Haven't you spent like 2 billion on transfers in the last couple of years?
We spent over 2 billion on transfers, and in the 4 years they've been in charge, we have only won 3 trophies, and that was under Maresca. Thomas Tuchel lasted 100 days under Bluco before he got sacked because he wanted more experienced players and a smaller squad. Potter came in on a 6-year deal, lasted 7 months. Yeah. Lampard came to fight fires. Pochettino came in on a 4-year deal, wanted more experience over this bulk buy young players on long-term contracts. They mutually terminated his contract. Maresca came in. He brought in stability and identity. He wanted senior players. When we lost Colwill to injury, he wanted to bring in a player to back him up. But we were told, no, that's going to block Josh Achapong's career. Which, don't get me wrong, Josh Achapong is a great young player and he deserves to be playing more than he is. But we're not using him. And we were like hot favourites to sign Sanasi on a free. But now the sporting directors want to go in a different direction. Like, what are their qualifications? In the 21 years we had under Abramovich, it was Abramovich at the top, then it was Bruce Buck, Marina Gavinska, and Ron Gourlay for a bit, and then Petr Cech. They were the only people in charge, and then it was calculated. That was it. They would sign. Yes, we signed players. Sometimes we signed the odd duff one like Papaginobogi, but 9 times out of 10 we signed players with a purpose, with a reason, and we very rarely overpaid for what we got. Now we're paying stupid money for young kids who aren't proven, because there's about 30 sporting directors. We interviewed Luis Enrique before signing Pochettino. He liked the idea of working in the Premier League, working with Chelsea. He hated the model that Chelsea had. That's why he went to PSG. And this is why. In the years spin, he's won the league and twice. He's probably going to win the Champions League twice. And we've got the Mickey Mouse of the Europe Cup. We've got the Club World Cup, which only is one of those, again, if you're in it, it's a proper trophy. If you're not in it, it's a farce.
If you're not, who cares? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But it's
different kind of mentality, because obviously, but I mean, the idea is sitting there going just buying young, like, you've got the problem with Chelsea is that the balance. You've got buying the best young talent out there, but you've got to balance it with a bit of experience. And that's the problem, where basically you've got all these really exciting players.
We also don't have an experienced manager. Like, this is Liam Rossini's 5th year in management. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big believer if you're good enough, you're old enough mentality when it comes to football players. Like with Esteban, he's 18 years old, but he's got the quality and he will be very good. But with Rossini, he's gone from Derby interim to Hull to Strasbourg to us. That is not a top tier pushing manager.
It normally never works. It rarely works.
It won't work. And give it 6 months, and we'll probably have Gary O'Neill in charge, because he's currently at Strasbourg now.
Yeah, I mean, looking realistically, I mean, if we look at the situation now just for Chelsea, I mean, 4 points off the top 5. You lost 4 of the last 5 games. Rossini's going to be there to the end of the season. You've got a game against United next weekend. United really didn't look great against Leeds. I think 3 weeks without a match, they looked very, very rusty. It wasn't a good performance at all. All of our big centre backs with injuries. I mean, in other words, what chances do you give Chelsea in possibly? I suppose Liverpool would be the ones you'd overtake for a top 5 position.
Honestly, I could see us. I don't see us getting top 5. I see us just about scraping Europa League, and that's probably off the back of maybe the FA Cup more than anything.
Yeah.
Because looking at our next few matches, we got Man United on Saturday, then we got on Tuesday we're going away to Brighton, which is a tough place to go. We're then home to Leeds, that's the FA Cup. Then we're home to Nottingham Forest. Then we're away to Liverpool. Then we're home to Spurs. Then we're away to Sunderland. I don't see us getting top 5 out of that run of fixtures. I see us maybe getting 6th, lucky maybe 7th. If you look at the form guide, the way the form guide is since Rossini's come in, we don't deserve Europe. That's it. Top half, yes, but right now I think
it's still quite tight there.
It's got to go hell for leather for the FA Cup.
I mean, it's still quite tight there, to be fair, because obviously
there's like 4 because we're 4 points off.
4 points off us,
but we're also 6. But we're also like 6 points off Newcastle in 12th.
Wow,
that's how close.
It's fairly,
and obviously you've got Brentford and obviously Everton are still hanging around those areas,
and Fulham.
And obviously, I think, I think, and also what's interesting is obviously with Mainland obviously losing and obviously Villa dropping points against Nottingham Forest. So it's now from where we're 5th to 3rd. It's only 3 points. So it's still quite close. So I get it from the form of Chelsea. I'm guessing you would be like, well, you don't see how you're going to get enough form to really get it, but it's still close enough that if you could just capitalise on one of the mistakes, you might be able to sneak in. But
honestly, I was talking to my dad the other day. If it wasn't for the fact we're playing Liverpool and Spurs right now, I'd give us a 0% chance. But the fact we've got those 2 games in there, we've got a small chance.
I mean, we've still got to play. We've still got to play Man United, you guys, Chelsea, and Villa, all around. So,
and it's also the Merseyside derby on the weekend as well.
Yeah. That's right. I mean, that I suppose that leads us into. Sorry, I was just going to say, I suppose that leads us into Liverpool. I mean, obviously they got the win at the weekend against Fulham, 2-0 victory at Anfield. Rio Ngumoha, what a player! He obviously got a goal. Salah got the other. But yeah, great performance from him. He's one of those players that he seems to be one of them that the fans really like to see. I think he came on the other night, last night in the Champions League, and there was a real surge. You could hear it in the crowd that there was excitement when he came on, and he had 1 or 2 chances as well. But I mean, he's a real prospect, isn't he?
It's just because he's fearless. It's like literally you know how refreshing it is for the first time in a very long time I've seen a winger that just goes for it. It's like in that game against Fulham, you can kind of see already the Premier League defenders, fullbacks are kind of like doubling up on him because they know that
they terrify him.
But what I like about that goal, his goal was obviously how amazing. Obviously, the way he curled that in was absolutely brilliant. But the idea that he was doubled up, he had all the players around him, but he still found a way to get that shot out.
A little bit of space.
I mean, we saw it with the Wolves game. Obviously, he probably deserved to go in that game when he had performance in there. But yeah, I think it's just refreshing to see. I think you got to look at the situation of obviously when we have Frimpong as well on that or the other side. It's like when we actually have players that actually have pace and width, we actually look we're 100% better side. Nothing against Gakpo, but what Real gives is that kind of unpredictability that we haven't seen for a winger probably since Diaz left, because he was kind of like that. So, but it was just nice to see a winger just given the ball and just trying to go past someone and just trying to do something. And I think that's what, and also that kind of play always gets a crowd riled up. Like, it always gets you going.
Yeah, absolutely. He nearly scored a goal when he came on against PSG last night. He nearly scored a goal that was very similar to the one that he scored at the weekend, where he kind of cuts inside that curler. It was very close. But
obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's just a situation. Yeah, I mean, obviously that was because of the point. It was because of the a little bit of a slip. Because obviously, but yeah, similar. He can still do it. I mean, I think what excites me the most is the idea that basically, like, with probably there are even rumours that Gakpo are probably going to leave in the summer. Like, because obviously he's been a bit hit and miss. Well, they missed the morning hit, to be honest. But it's just if we could time it right or make sure he gets enough time next season and stuff. This is a player that could be like we were all talking about, was it Dowman, obviously, for Arsenal. You can sit and say you can see him being a superstar for the Premier League if you do it right. But it's just nice to see a young player be fearless and go for it. And
there's been a few of them this season. I mean, Estevez for Chelsea as well. I mean, there's always every season there's always this one player that comes through. This young player, he could be the next big thing, And it very, very rarely turns out to be the case. I think we had a discussion about that a couple of weeks ago. Young players who get that kind of hype, who go on to actually do great things. They're very, very few and far between.
There's just a couple of things that bugs me about Ngumoha. Firstly, he was at Chelsea Academy since he was 8, and then I thought this weird darkness for him to leave. Then Chelsea, which
you're clearly not too fussed about. You're clearly not.
My second thing is like, why does he have his first name on his shirt? Like, why is it Rio?
Yeah, that is a bit weird, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, unless you're Brazilian, or Dele Alli kind of explained it for him. But unless you're Brazilian, why have you got your first name on your shirt?
I mean,
you've got to earn that right.
Well, didn't Trent? I mean, as much as we're going to Trent, that's what he went to Real Madrid and done. He's on the front of his page. It's got Trent at the front, so on his shirt. So.
Yeah, because it's cheaper for the Spanish fans because it's 5 letters rather than 1,000.
It kind of annoys me that with Bruno Fernandes, I kind of hate the way that it's B. Fernandes in a kind of semicircle. It's like, just put Bruno, for Christ's sake. Everyone knows him. No one calls him Fernandes. Everyone calls him Bruno. Just put
Enzo Fernandez is Enzo, but then Andre Santos, the midfielder. When it's Chelsea, he's Andre Santos. But for Brazil, it's A. Santos. It's like, surely just be consistent. Just have one of them.
So yeah, obviously Liverpool taking an upturn in form recently, so they're looking good to possibly secure that 5th place spot. I mean, I'm the host today, so I don't really have to discuss United, do I? So I mean, no, I will. They were shite.
If I got to talk about that, how that was it, a sucker punch that PSG game last night was, when we were looking like we're getting enough. Dembele goal went in.
What a goal from Dembele! Yeah,
it's a great goal.
You got to admit though, Slot got the team completely weird for that game. Playing a half-fit Alexander Isak, who's Achilles pops. Then you got Ekitike, who's Achilles pop. Then Alexander Isak, who's only fit for 45 minutes.
And saying that in his presser, saying he's likely only going to play 45 minutes. So surely, if the opposition, you go like, right, well, we're going to see a tweak coming at half time. Then we can kind of adjust to that. Yeah, that was
exactly.
What was it? The 4-2? I think it was like 4-2-2-2. Like, and obviously having them both up front. The problem is with this is like last season it worked because he had the personnel to do it, but. Yeah, I think when he in the second half we played a lot better. I think we looked more like we were building on something. But yeah, he kind of did. He's been doing that a lot all season, to be fair, like tweaking stuff and trying to be like the idea of playing a back 5 against PSG and it completely backfiring. Like the idea was it in Paris was like, okay, so you're basically telling PSG that we're shit scared of them.
Yeah,
basically.
It gives the mentality like we're going to try and absorb as much pressure as we can and gun it on a counter, which just never came.
Yeah, there was definitely a period in that second half, wasn't there, Stu, where it almost reminded me of like Klopp's Liverpool. It was just relentless, chance after chance after chance, and then PSG going up the other end and score. It sucked
the life out though. But you can literally, when you watch that game, it's like when that goal from PSG went in, it just like the whole place just went dead.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, you had the housery that was Atletico Madrid versus Barcelona.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, I loved it. That was great. The last 10 minutes of that match was great.
I love the way he's done it. Again, it's like everyone's thinking Barcelona, but Atletico Madrid are proving yet again that they're still that team that can cause problems.
Simeone has knocked Barcelona out of the Champions League 3 times.
That's good going. And this is their first Champions League semi-final for 9 years. I hadn't realised that they've been out for that long.
Here's a question for you guys then. Obviously, if we go by the assumption that Arsenal are going to, beat Sporting Lisbon tonight, and they've got to play this Atletico Madrid side.
Atletico Madrid will win.
Atletico Madrid will
win. Yeah.
I know they played each other earlier in the league phase, and I think it was at Arsenal, and Arsenal I think won like 3-0. But a knockout Atletico Madrid is a different beast.
Exactly. Yeah. League match at the beginning.
PSG. The last 2 seasons in a row, PSG have just about qualified for the Champions League knockout stages. But then as soon as that turns, Luis Enrique somehow turns that machine on, and it's just ridiculous. Like a knockout Simeone, he will get a 1-0 win and then just defend the hell and break legs.
Yeah, he's far too wily for Arteta.
You've got a front line of Ademola Lookman, Sorloth, Alvarez, and Griezmann. There are goals and speed there. Which is also weird to say with Alexander Sorloth a few years ago, he was pony for Crystal Palace.
I'd forgotten he was at Palace actually when they mentioned it last night. Like,
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know, because obviously after the Barcelona, I think Arsenal fans looking at that side of the bracket thinking, oh,
they had the easy side.
Yeah, but now when you think about it, like obviously with them, like that, I've got to be honest. We all talking about. I want as much as the PSG done this. I cannot wait for that. If it goes the way it goes, like Bayern Munich, if it stays where it's Bayern Munich PSG semi-final.
Yeah, it's going to be Bayern Atleti final, isn't it? It's going to be a Bayern Atleti final, and I think Bayern will win.
That's a more
I
interesting
hope.
final to me. That's a more interesting final for me than would be like Arsenal versus
No,
Bayern.
I think Bayern Munich Arsenal would be a far more interesting final. Again, like Matt said, to see Kane scores a Champions League final hat trick against Arsenal after they've bottled the league. Oh, that would be fabulous, you know. But just looking over the other results of the weekend here, just one other team I wanted to mention, which is Brentford. I mean, obviously they got a 2-2 draw at home against Everton,
which I called on the Super 6 predictions.
Which you did,
yeah. You
very
got
well
that
done.
as well,
Very well done. Igor Thiago, 21 Premier League goals. Haaland's on 22. Can Igor Thiago win the Golden Boot this season?
I would say yes.
I'd say so. Like the way they're currently going, like we discussed earlier, Haaland hasn't scored a Premier League goal since February.
Haaland's gone,
watch him get a hat trick though against Arsenal. But
Igor
Thiago, he's been one of those players. Like unless you're a Brentford fan, he's just been quietly under the radar, or you've had him in your fantasy league team where you've not really noticed him.
Yeah.
And he's in mine.
Yeah,
and mine as well.
He's in mine. I don't know. I haven't done my team since November. I don't think so.
Double game week this weekend.
Oh, okay, got to remember that because was it Josh is creeping up on me, so I need to start building up those points again.
I think I'm still last.
I honestly don't know. I must be dead last because again I haven't done my team in at least January. I don't think. I think I have like 4 City players in there, something like that. So I'm probably doing something right. But
did you see the highlights of that game though as well? Like, so was it Everton with the Everton and Brentford match? Like it looked like what a game it looked like it was. Like obviously I didn't watch the full game, but it looks like it was a proper like 2 teams going at it, and it was just actually like really entertaining to see. The idea that was it David Moyes' made? Was it Beb? Was it what's his name? The striker for Everton. I think it's
Beto.
like
Beto. Yeah,
he's made Beto look into this kind of like really good striker.
Yeah,
he couldn't score. Like there was like before he came, he couldn't. With the old saying, couldn't score. He couldn't hit. Was it a bundle with a machine gun? But now look at him. He's like this, competent Premier League striker and scoring some really impressive goals. So it's crazy when you think about it.
Cowsars with a banjo is my personal favorite. And the other, I mean, just kind of rattling through the other results. So West Ham obviously pumping Wolves at home 4-0. Nottingham Forest getting a draw. I think just to come back to Spurs very briefly, the real worry for Spurs is not just that their results have been utter poo recently and they just look completely desolate. The teams around them are starting to improve as well, which is a real worry for them. I really think it would be. I think it would be just as shocking. It would certainly be the most shocking relegation in Premier League history. But I'm just thinking, would it be as shocking as other Premier League wins? Like, has there been a team that's won the Premier League that maybe
I think with Tottenham, though, it wouldn't be as shocking, probably for the fact that they finished 17th last season. Yeah. So it's like,
that's a good point, actually. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think if last year if they had finished like 7th and then
they won the Europa League. Do you know? It's like,
but it just shows.
I cannot believe
we want to forget that final. So, like, a lot of people have already. So, like, that was.
I keep getting weird pangs. Like, oh God, yeah. I cannot believe it.
Although I still love Ange Postecoglou's sort of like at the trophy parade. His second season said always win. The third season's is even better. And other rival fans is like, yes, we're enjoying this so much. And the Spurs fans just like,
how long did he last after that statement? Like he literally a couple of days and he got sacked.
A week.
I think it was a bit longer than that. I think there was a bit of speculation for a while. We had a couple of episodes where we were like, well, he won't do, and I was convinced he would do, and then he did. But yeah. But, the usual, 3 managers, if you get 3 managers in the season, you deserve to get relegated. So, I mean, they're likely going to stick with De Zerbi. I don't think they'll go with a 4th, which would just be beyond ridiculous. But
it's weird that sorry, mate.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's just because I was watching a video about, I think it was on The Athletic, I think it was. And they're talking about, like, how was it basically, it's very negative saying that basically De Zerbi will not save Tottenham. But that's because they look at the tactics and it's like, it's very strange that a team that's struggling and needs the performance of being a manager that's very progressive and very kind of like forward footing, but then has really like defensive leaders really bad. Like he's one of these team managers that's like, he can play some really amazing football at times, but they always look vulnerable at the back. And then so I don't know. I mean, if he's not even doing that, if he's just basically not even trying that, then it's a weird one with that. I think they've got this feeling that they're just going to stay up because they've even like talks of obviously Robbo leaving at the end of the season. There's talks going. There's a verbal agreement if they stay up. It's like, why are you making agreements into literally their Premier League status? But I mean, I think we all want to see it because basically there should be consequences for making bad decisions in football, and I think
100%. Yeah,
and that's what I want to do.
Who's going to be the team? Brighton are the informed team in the league at the moment. They're the only team to have won the last 3 games. Watch Tottenham somehow scrape a win or something or a draw against them. It's going to be some team that don't.
All of a sudden, don't be surprised if they smashed them or something. Like it's like a Spurs thing, isn't it? All of a sudden they turn up and then that would be tragic. I don't think it's in our Super 6. Hopefully it's not in our Super 6 because that would be a one that we'd just be like, it would just ruin our day, but also our Super 6 as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. When are the Super 6? Are the Super 6 fixtures out now, or they're not?
They'll be out after this midweek the Champions League. So we probably won't find out until maybe Thursday because there's Friday fixtures.
Oh, okay, right, grand. Grand. I don't think there was any other talking points in the Premier League as such, unless you guys wanted to mention anything. Again, United were shite, but that's to be expected after 3 weeks of no football.
I love the analysis there. Basically, like, no, we'll get into it. It's like, no, the rubbish, the crap, shite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not convinced. Yeah, and I'm still not convinced by Carrick. Certainly not after that performance. Again, 3 weeks without football, fair enough. We're without a lot of our centre backs, and we've got Chelsea.
Is the bubble burst? Do you think the bubble's burst a little bit?
100%. It's only one win in 4, and yeah, that was a sordid performance.
And you got Martinez and Maguire suspended for the
both,
Saturday.
Exactly, and Maguire's got suspended as well.
Maguire,
Yaro and Heaven are our only 2 centre backs.
Maguire got an extra game suspension.
I saw that just
he
earlier.
went to the 4th official. You're a fucking joke.
Yeah, nice one, Maguire. He couldn't just honest to Christ. But. Yeah,
we'll see. As well, so maybe.
Yeah. But I'm still. I mean, not all doom and gloom. I mean, I think United still will secure top 5 now, isn't it? Yeah. So I think that should be fairly secure. But
thank you, Champions League for that.
We
saved our season that one.
Yeah. But the whole Carrick thing, I'm still not convinced. But anyway. I really have. I think that's about it, guys. Unless, what do you guys think for tonight? We'll mention the Champions League briefly. We've got Arsenal obviously playing Sporting. They have a 1-0 lead going into the second leg. Thoughts on that? You reckon Arsenal can go through to the semis?
They should on paper, but I know it's a completely different kettle of fish. But this is a Sporting side that in the last round overturned a 3-0 deficit. I guess it was playing Bodo Glimt, but it was a Bodo Glimt side that had beaten Inter Milan and Man City this season already.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see how both Sporting and Arsenal come out of it. I think Arsenal need a good result and a good performance off the back of Bournemouth going into the City game.
I know it's an obvious thing with this one, but I think I know that you say so in football, but it's kind of truth. Like, because of how nervy and how kind of momentum is not really on Arsenal side, they need to make that 2-0 quickly. Like, they need to make that 2-0 and they need to score early, because if it gets to like 60, 70 minutes and it's still
nervy.
And then Sporting get an equal, one goal and obviously level the tie, then I think that's a momentum that I think I don't know. I think they should. It's probably going to be like a 1-0 for Arsenal, but I get the Sporting side is not. You thought they were done in that first leg in the last round, and obviously what they did, as Matt said, what they did. So never write them off. But
absolutely,
what's the old saying? Was it on paper they should win, but then football's not paper.
Football's not on paper.
But exactly, yeah. I think Arsenal will.
Then you got the other tie, which is even though we've sort of said Bayern Munich get into the final, it's 2-1. It's finally poised still.
It is. I do think Bayern Munich will just edge it, though.
Bayern Munich are in the form side. Fair play to Vincent Kompany. When he went to Bayern Munich, it was one of those. That
was the weirdest appointment ever, wasn't it?
Who looks at the guy who got relegated by Burnley and thinks, that's
our man.
We all know what happened there. Basically, they tried absolutely everyone. He was like the 10th choice. And then he went down the list, and then he went Vincent Kompany. Oh, he's. Maybe he's like Pep, and then he got him, and then obviously it's worked out brilliant for him.
Yeah, he knows German football. He played for Hamburg.
Yeah. Actually, that leads me nicely into another thing we wanted to discuss. Speaking of unusual managerial appointments or managerial appointments that were unforeseen, Union Berlin announced that their new manager, the first female manager of a men's club in the top 5 leagues or in any league, I think, isn't it?
Yeah,
in
so
Europe, certainly.
Marie-Louise
Etta.
She's taken charge of them before. She's like she's been their assistant, but when their previous manager, I think a few seasons ago, was unwell, she took over for a game and got them to a 1-0 win. Because I think at the end of the season she's going to take over properly the Union Berlin women's side, and it's one of those. It's really good to see that a woman has broken this proverbial glass ceiling. I think the hate that
the online abuse that followed that was unbelievable. It was just like immediate.
It's one of those. Like, I just hope, not for the club's sake, but for her sake, she gets some good results. Because if she doesn't get good results, then it's going to be a huge bandwagon of this is why women can't manage in men's football.
Yeah. Do you think though that if she does, and all the best to her, I mean, I do hope that she does well. I mean, if she does manage to get some good results with Union Berlin, I mean, do you guys think that might set the precedent for other clubs in Europe to maybe start thinking about women's head coaches, managers?
Years ago, I think AFC Wimbledon looked at Emma Hayes to become their manager.
I remember that. Yeah.
Emma Hayes said I'm not going to take a step down to go into men's football, because she was seeing it as I'm managing one of the top teams.
Was she at Chelsea at the time?
She was at Chelsea. She was managing one of the top teams at Chelsea, one of the top teams in Europe, and she was touted for the England job, but now she's at America. So,
but at least it's serious though, because obviously, did you ever see that stuff? Was it Forest Green did it? I think they had like a a man that was a woman manager took over, but it was a publicity stunt because it was only like an interim for 2 days until somebody else came in.
Was that before Troy Deeney took over?
Yes. And then he lasted. Well, Forest Green's a very strange club. But the point is, when we do it in this country, it's more like it's like that one's it wasn't like you're taking over the job. It's like it was a publicity stunt.
She's been given she's interim, but she's been given interim until the end of the season.
And actually managing them,
because I think they're 11th in the Bundesliga. But
they're 7 points off or something. So it's not like they were kind of mid-table-ish.
They're mid-table-ish, but they're close. They're close to both European playoffs, but also the relegation playoffs, because they do it. Bottom 2 go down, and then third bottom plays against the playoff from the Bundesliga 2. So she's got, because I don't think they've won many games recently, so they've had to make a change. So it'll be an interesting one. I hope it goes well. Like we said, she's got the job on merit rather than she's
100%. Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting to see what happens. And I mean, again, as if I know her, but I mean, just for her sake, just to get some good results, and that might then, you never know, in the future might pave the way for other top quality female managers who, maybe start getting considered for other top jobs around Europe. You never know.
I mean, I've never understood it, because it's the same argument people use when they use it for the pundits. When they say, well, they've never played the men games. Like, they do realise it's the same sport and the same rules mostly. So they're like. Yes, because they play for the women's, not for men, doesn't mean they can't talk about football.
Careful, you might get any illusion.
I never understand that argument. Yeah, it's like, so you're saying every fan in the country, everyone who's not played Premier League football or Champions League football, whatever, has no right to speak about football in any capacity whatsoever.
No, for the best one, I think, is like, was it? We'll talk about the pundits, like saying, she's like, what's her name again? I can't remember her name. Like, the one that was it Joy Barton doesn't like?
Eni Aluko.
Yeah, and everyone's, and he was like,
she is annoying though. I'll give him. He isn't. She is annoying.
But that's not. But again, you could argue, but that's not because she's a woman. Maybe she's just not.
No, not at all.
No. But have you seen some of them?
She was going after Ian Wright, but Ian Wright's been probably one of the most consistent advocates for the women's game since like the early 90s.
You didn't really get a lot of fans of that one.
It was the wrong target. Yeah.
Wrong person.
There's male pundits I hate just as much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never a case of male, female. It doesn't matter.
Mostly on Sky, I should point out.
Yeah, if you're chatting rubbish, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. I will say you're chatting rubbish.
Yeah, exactly. So
one thing I want to go on to about the women's game, because I wanted to talk about this a few weeks ago, but I couldn't attend the podcast. It was the VAR situations, and it was in the women's game. And I was watching the Chelsea-Arsenal Women's Champions League, and the VAR was shocking. It disallowed one clear Chelsea goal, which every part of it. Even Arsenal people said that should have been a goal. And then in the second leg, Alyssa Thompson, when it was 2-1, Chelsea pressing to make it 2-2. Alyssa Thompson was running through, and she is rapid. I think it was Kim Little tried to grab her shirt, missed, and pulled her back by her hair, but VAR didn't intervene. And Sonia Bonpasta has gone on a huge rant about the standard of VAR and the women's referees, and it only adds further fuel to the fire when you look at. I think there was a quote the other day from a top Premier League referee, how he hated being VAR because he was 145 miles away, meticulously overlooking things and the pressure and the stress it was going through and everything.
Is that like an anonymous quote, like someone who's anonymous? Like
no, I can't remember who it was because they're discussing it on Sky.
It was someone who actually. All right. Yeah.
So someone who's actually discussing it on Sky and just looking at how, because I think the stats came out. What was it? 75% of football fans want VAR out of football because it's just consistently.
And now, but you can't get. It's too ingrained now. That's the problem now.
Well, at least Spurs can get rid of VAR when they go to the Championship because it's not in that league. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Brilliant. Any chat we can get about Spurs being relegated, I love it. Yeah. I'm certainly.
There we go.
Yeah. I would certainly be in the 25% of people who would happily have it stay, because I think, look, you think of what I think about with VAR is all of the major decisions you can think, majorly wrong decisions that have been made in football over the last 10, 20, 30 years, however long we've been watching football for. I mean, think like, Frank Lampard's goal or non-goal in the World Cup, you think, the Maradona hand of God, all these kind of egregiously mistaken calls where VAR would have easily intervened. And I totally understand that there have been inconsistencies with VAR decisions since it's come into the Premier League. I totally understand that. But I think ultimately it is for the good, and it is a brand new technology, and it's constantly being refined and updated and things, and this and that, offside rules and the other rules being sort of messed around with and kind of tinkered with as well. Ultimately it is for the good. I do understand why fans are so unhappy with it, particularly with the length of time decisions to make, and for people in the stadium as well. I totally understand that, but I think it ultimately is a good thing. It means well.
I think the idea of VAR is right. The application, the administration, and who's running it is rubbish.
No. Yeah,
it's almost to the point where we almost say this week in, week out, the referees are scared to referee now because of VAR. Like, they don't want to be seen make a mistake, but it's not a case of like you're wrong. It's a case of just double check this. Yeah. And I think it needs to be quickened up if it's because the statement is clear and obvious mistake, and it's looking at something for 3-5 minutes. That's not clear and obvious then, is it?
Yeah.
It should be 30 seconds. If you can't clearly see a mistake within 30 seconds of a review, done.
Stick with the referee decision.
That's what I think. I think there should be a time limit.
Like cricket, umpires, cool. Yeah. Like, we think you made a mistake. Okay, we'll review it. No, 30 seconds. Time's up. It's not obvious. Play on.
And then there's always going to be people who are unhappy with the decision, but every referee's call is going to have people who don't like it, people who do like it. You're never going to have unanimous. Yeah.
It's like one thing I do like this season is the idea that referees are mic'd up, so you can actually tell the
I
fans
like that.
what's going on.
Yeah. I like that.
Have you seen what they do in the Baller League? Like that sixer side they do on Sky.
Yeah. No. What
the referees are interviewed after the game.
That would never happen in the Premier
League. At least they're coming out, and because like John Terry used to have a team in it, and he was there. Also, John Terry's apparently buying Colchester United. Like that.
Everyone's buying clubs now.
Everyone's buying everyone. But it's so refreshing. The referee said, "Okay, I saw this as a penalty. I gave it on a field. VAR looked at it. I then saw I made a mistake. That's why I overturned it, because I saw he actually kicked himself rather than kicking the other player." That's brilliant. Rugby referees, they've got VAR. Everything's mic'd up. You can hear everything. You can hear them talking between the side officials, the TMO. You can hear everything, and there's no question about it. And you can hear their reason, their justification, rather than just like blue 52, like after an hour, blue 22 did this. It's like, no,
they've done everything but right. They've got everything but now. They're mic'd up. They've got the cameras on there. I don't know if they stopped that, but they've got the cameras on there. Was it on their person, so you can see them?
They only do it on big games.
Only big games, of course.
Only the big games.
But you can hear the conversation back when they have that VAR review on Sky. But you can hear the conversation between the ref on the field and Stockley Park as well. You can hear kind of the justification for every decision and stuff like that. So, I mean, I say it would never be brought into the Premier League, but it's funny. Like, what would there be? Like you say, what else is there to hide? Really, I mean, I guess just if there is, I suppose. The issue would be if an egregious decision was made on the pitch and then the referees, like a big title deciding match or a relegation scrap or something like that. And then the ref is interviewed afterwards, mic in front of his face, like, why have you disappointed millions of fans with that disgraceful decision kind of thing? It's like, well, maybe I got it wrong. Hey, who knows? Anyway.
But also, now when you think about it, it puts, again, the thing that we don't want is we're all talking about referees and refereeing decisions. If you start interviewing after the game, it's all about them. And you don't really, you really don't want that, because obviously you get frustrated with a ref when he's made a bad call. But I don't know, it just would be like it'd be all about that one decision, and then you put him on screening.
But we don't know their reasons. But at least with rugby, even if a decision goes against you, like with the Six Nations, England had when they was notorious for getting players in the yellow cards. Yes, it was an annoying decision, but at least we knew the reason why. Because, fair enough, he's seen it this way, and then he's given it. That's what's missing with football. And I had a point there, and I completely forgot my friend.
Well, I think the reasons are given, and again, with everything that's available to us now, we can kind of understand the reasons as to why. But I think the issue that comes in a lot is the fact that they're so is the inconsistency with the decision making. So we made this decision for this foul. But then the same decision might not have been made for another foul, and another reason might have been given for that.
Oh, it's that classic. It's a foul outside the box, but it's not a foul for a penalty. Surely if a foul's a foul regardless of where it is on the pitch. If it
Can I say something really quickly? Just a rule I'd like to implement, because I think it happened to the United match where, or was it the United match? I can't remember. Someone of the weekend. There was a dived outside the box and he got a yellow card. I think you should only get a yellow card for diving if you do it inside the box. Outside the box, I think it's a bit harsh.
So it's still a foul, but you book them
because if you're diving in the box, it's a clear trying to manipulate to get a goal. But if you go down in the middle of the pitch and no one touches you, I think a yellow card is extremely harsh. Anyway, that's my.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying, but again, wouldn't start the whole bit where it's like we all complain about refs, was it decisions and stuff not being consistent?
Yeah, absolutely. One more thing to throw into the pot, absolutely.
Because obviously, interpreting the rules of football these days is freaking you need a sort of maths degree, PhD and stuff. They change them all the time. How many times the idea that basically the handball rule was changed so many times you don't even really know what handball is.
And you got Canada trialing the Wenger offside clear gap.
That's right. Yeah.
Have you seen the pictures of that, of how far you have to be offside before they actually give it? It's
got to be clear daylight.
Daylight, yeah.
So it's basically if your foot, even a centimetre of your toenail is still onside, it counts.
Yep.
But you can blame
that's what they're doing at the moment with offside. If your toenail's just slightly off the line, that's what it is. It's if you've got someone with slightly longer boots.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things. It's just I get what you're trying to do to change it, but I think keeping it, if the old eyeball test is probably the best way to go. If you look at it,
I say we just go back to school rules. No offside, goal hanging is allowed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Imagine the score lines on that. Imagine the score lines on that.
Jumpers for goalpost. The top of the goal is how tall the keeper is.
Yeah. That was post. It rolled over the jumper. No. That would have been posted in.
Oh, that's over. It's gone above me, lads. It's over.
Yeah. Was the old one basically? If you're not tall, if you're tall, if you go as high as you can, but it goes. You can't catch it. It goes over.
That's over. Yeah.
Or you're losing. What was it? Or we could go street. You'd be losing 20-0, but basically you can only. Yeah, go for that. Yeah.
Hey, look at that. We turned a nice conversation about the dullness of VAR and everything into a night. We reminisced for a little bit there.
Bring back golden goal.
Playing a bit of football. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Yeah, extra time is bullshit. Anyway, yeah, golden goal. I like golden goal.
Only silver goal. I remember they tried silver goal when they tried
they got rid of golden goal in '98. Then they did silver goal until was it the 2002 Euro final where France settled it?
Yeah, I think so like that. But no, it's just the idea. Yeah, but what's annoying is some games is you've got two halves of 2 30-minute or 15-minute rounds of extra time. You just like
nothing. That just did nothing happen.
You know, if they don't score in the first 15 minutes, the second half of the 15 minutes is like.
It's and then the subs for the penalty takers. The subs come on,
Yeah, but if you get the but obviously we don't want to do extra money because obviously if you've got 2 extra time, you know what's going to happen. They get more money. But like the point is, but the golden goal stuff is just like you could like. It's just like teams will have to go for it because basically
at least with the League Cup, it's 90 minutes. If it's 90 minutes of that, it's just like straight to penalties. They've scrapped extra time.
Yeah. And with extra games, fixtures, and all the rest of it, you know, it's like, do we need another half an hour of these players just to watch absolutely just nothing football for the next?
Anyway. You know, like doing 90 minutes in extra, you know, like put like up to like 120, like at some point, like just like they're knackered, and obviously when have you ever seen an extra time where it's been really like end to end and proper? I haven't seen one in a while.
The World Cup final 2022.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good one.
There was 2 penalties in that. Messi and Mbappe both scored a penalty, I think, didn't they? But that's a very rare example. But I am with you. Typically, more often than not, they're awful to watch. Well, like I think we'll leave it there, guys. So thanks for joining us once again, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And
find us on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and Spotify. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere.
I've been working very hard to upload those every week, and no one watches them. So you got to start watching.
Don't let Stuart's efforts go in vain. Subscribe to us and watch his beautiful edited videos of us.
I just love the way how aggressive you got there. It's like, you better subscribe. Subscribe right now.
Yeah, we hit 120 subscribers on YouTube there. I know.
If you don't subscribe, Spurs will stay up.
Yeah, there's your incentive. Yeah. Subscribe or Arsenal will win the league, Spurs will get relegated, and you know, something else bad will happen. Anyway, look, we'll leave it there, guys. So thanks again from Stuart, Matt, and myself, and we'll see you all next week. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.